I know why Ezio is doing that, because it's a personal revenge. I mean, he
Yeah.
was on a path of revenge, so it's a personal story. So, of course, you can rely to that characters. Altair, you can understand some part of the thing, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like, a war machine, super driven, and it was about, trying to find the truth. But at the same time, being an assassin before was kind of, foggy. You don't really know exactly what's going on. So I think that it's kind of cool to give the Templars perspective, because it doesn't mean that the Templars are the good guys, and I still think that are the bad guys.
Mm.
But it's cool to have their point of view in order to understand why they are doing that.
That's
I
quite
mean, I think
interesting.
it gives more depth to the whole thing. So a lot of people were surprised by the quantity of story and things that we've given out. So I would recommend definitely trying to, get all
Yeah.
through the 50 levels of multiplayer in order to unlock everything.
It could be fine to be Assassin's Creed The Templar Strikes Back. The
Haha.
next game. That would be quite funny. I can imagine people screaming, "No, I don't want to be a Templar. I've been fighting Templars for over a year. I want to be an assassin again."
Yeah.
So, and that's the question I did you off the record. I'm gonna do it now. Tell me, Aymar, has any of you thought of an Assassin's Creed MMORPG?
Yes.
Oh.
No, yes. We have considered every Assassin's Creed thing you can ever imagine. So yeah, MMORPG, not really racing game, but apart from racing game, of course,
Racing game
of course, apart from that, we've been thinking to a lot of different,
to
ways of
expand the game.
yeah, to expand the game and to expand the thing, and it could be something interesting. But honestly, it's not super easy to come out with an MMORPG, especially on that market, which is like super crowded. Um, and at the same time, you have to find the right formula. You have to find something that works. And one of the things that really works with the Assassin's Creed franchise is the ability to be able to jump from a time period to another, to play
And
different
you don't
assassins
want
and
to
stuff.
become repeatedly. I mean, considering
No,
that this is going to be an assassin, it's going to be a knight
exactly.
from Templars. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought two classes, but in the end, you're going to have the assassin that's going to perform the same combos. Even
Hmm.
even for example, in World of Warcraft, that's the most successful MMORPG. You
Yeah.
still see the same rotation from characters doing the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
You've
doing
got
it
all
on
the
Assassin's Creed, the guy is going to tell you, why should I pay a monthly subscription when I can just buy the single player game and play it myself?
No, that's it. And you don't want to have, it's kind of, if you want to repeat what has been done, you're going to end up with, like archetype class with,
Yeah.
the tank, the healer, the DPS, 4 DPS. And it's not something that it could be fun, and at least we have a clear opposition between assassins and Templars. So of course you can have two sides, and we can start working on that. But then when you come to the time period and jumping from an era to another, and really what is the DNA of the brand? Because the DNA of our brand is really historical moment and pivotal moment in history. So like strong background and story. We've got navigation, and it's super hard in an RPG, MMORPG to have this kind of navigation, being able to run on rooftops and do crazy stuff and everything. And heading on top of that, our fighting and combat system that would have to be completely different if you
Yeah.
consider co-op or multiplayer.
And also, I'm
So,
trying to think what kind of servers would you guys need to have to hold millions of assassins doing
but
this
yeah,
stuff? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, the technical side, even if it's like super complicated, is probably the easiest task we're gonna have to deal
Yeah.
with. And
Indeed.
then, because we want to have like really strong story and things that are really taking you and driving you, we would need like an army of writers. We would work to and even the world itself. I mean, it took a lot of time to do a city like Constantinople or
Yeah.
Roma. Like
Imagine of making the
yeah,
whole world map.
that's like it requires tons of assets and of people, level designer, level artists working on it in order to get sure that we are really close to reality. So it would be like a huge amount of work, and I'm not sure that it would be like something easy to do.
I
So
actually felt tired the way you said that. I personally felt tired without being in the brand itself.
yeah, and with the fact that we are working on a lot of different games at the same time, a lot of different projects, it's I won't say I will probably never say no to any kind of game. Like even like considering an Assassin's Creed fighting game with the multiplayer characters and stuff. Yeah, of course, sure. But for now on, it's not our main objective. It's not of core of expertise, and it's not something we are really, really, really looking into. It's something we are always curious about because, as yourself, we are all gamers and we love video games. And
Yeah.
sometimes we're like, oh, it could be so cool to have that.
Yeah.
And you realize that, especially because I'm production manager and stuff, you realize
Yeah. Yeah.
work that you're gonna have, and you're like, I'm not sure it's worth.
Yeah, I personally would like to see an Ezio or Altair on League of Legends, for example, as a hero.
Okay, that could be fun, yeah.
Well, there is a hero that actually looks a bit like Ezio. It's the latest hero. It's called Talon. It's an assassin. I mean, if you see him, the way he dresses with the hood and some of his weapon, it has the blade of Ezio, and I was like, I actually bought it in the instant. I was like, this is my Ezio here.
No, well, of course, with Assassin's Creed success, we've created like kind of a really iconic figure. And if you think about it, I mean, Assassin's Creed is not a really old brand. It's like 5-year-old for the public, and for us internally, we've been working, longer on that. So but it's still, yeah.
You can say that you've been working on that for 8 years, yet the game feels like it's been out for ages.
Exactly, and when you check on forums and everywhere, when you see a lot of people using Avatar as Altair or Ezio, so completely dressed with the white hood, the red belt, the hidden blade. There's like some really strong element and really iconic element about the brand, and a lot of people are saying that Altair or Ezio are some of the coolest video game character ever, and they've been out for like 5 or 6 years, and we've got like more than 2 million fans on Facebook. And you can check that there's a lot of games that don't have, like more than 2 million fans.
For example, Ezio has been out for 2 years now, and it's quite. I mean, so many people dressed like Ezio in Gamescom, for example, from the pictures I saw.
No, of course, it's a really, really cool universe, and we are super proud of the success that we've got, and it's thanks to the fans, and that's why we are paying a lot of attention. That's why we are doing our best to please them and to surprise them, because without the fans we wouldn't be there. So it's like, for us it's super cool. For myself it's super weird because I'm a huge video game fan, and I've grown up playing like a shitload of games, and I've owned like tons of consoles. I'm still a hardcore player. And sometimes I don't realize, because people are like, oh, you work on Assassin's Creed, it's so cool. And for me it's just my colleagues, it's just my colleagues when I'm working.
Yeah, I know. It's way different to work on something than actually playing it.
Yeah, it's super cool. I mean, and the video game props and video games people here in Montreal are super, super cool. We've got tons of cool studio. And I was talking like a bit before on Facebook with David Afose, which is the producer of Deus Ex. And he was like, oh, we're going to have a Deus Ex event in Eidos. You just have to step by. You promised me you're going to bring some beer. So I'm going to come there with some beers. And he's going to give me a couple of games. So it's like...
Could you send me the tickets also, so I could come there and take an interview from you and drink some beers and maybe grab some games?
Well, if you want, I can I can try to have you in touch with David. It's super cool.
I wouldn't mind. The more people you know in the industry, considering my job, it's quite good. So, anything you would like to say to? Well, I know that this is probably going to YouTube and everyone's going to listen, but anything that you want to say to the Greek fans of the game?
Well, I want to thank them because thanks to you, I discovered, your website and all the community and how super active they were. And I know that we've got, fans around the world.
Of course, but...
Yeah, and I was really happy to see, how, super nice and super reactive and super excited you were about the game. So I'm pretty sure you're going to find a couple of surprise and word in the game that you're going to like to hear. Nice. There's also a couple of multiplayer characters that should please you that we're going to reveal. And so in a nutshell, I'm really glad we've been able to pull out this podcast, even if I only had one coffee, so I'm not really sure of what kind of stuff I've said so far.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Okay, that's cool. So no. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience, and thanks for all the fans for all the support you're giving us and all the love you're spreading. We recently received a book with tons of photos from fans that have been sent from France, I guess. And it was fans doing cosplay. So they sent this amazing boot that they did themselves, and we just shared it with the whole team, and we were super happy about that. So any single time we've seen, a nice message, whether it's on Facebook or on the or whatever, you can pretty much sure that one of the devs is going to see that, or UbiGabe or UBDlight's going to see those messages, and they're going to pass it by to the team. And we are really, really hard working to get sure that you've got the most amazing game for the end of the year. So it always pleases us. So don't hesitate to spread the love.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. It was an honor, actually. I mean, this is my first big interview, and considering the person that I'm interviewing, this is quite an honor. I know this is the little fanboy that comes out of me. So thank you very much for spending your time.
Thanks.
We will discuss. We'll have your Twitter. We'll have your everything. You are awesome. Guys, I like to inform you that this guy answers all the time. I mean, you know, there are other people who are working and they're like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Well, why not? This guy spent his morning giving us an interview. He's with one coffee. It was quite fine. You were quite sober, actually. So
it's surprisingly enough, but I knew that I got an interview. Escoblade will tell you it's not always the case, but
don't worry. If the crisis passes through Greece, I'm gonna come there. I'm gonna come to Canada, and we're gonna have an interview after beers. This is gonna be way.
Honestly, if you came here, I would be really, really glad to have a couple of beers with you and hang out. There's no problem. I'm gonna have you a studio tour if you came here.
Come on, don't do that to me. I need to find the Prime Minister of Greece and tell him to fix it.
That part is your problem, but if you came here, you're gonna have a nice studio tour for sure.
Thank you very much, Aymar. It's nice speaking with you.
That's cool. Thanks.